What's good with y'all? Now, I'm gonna keep this intro short because this might be a longer video. Normally I like to keep my videos within 4 to 5 minutes, but this one might be 10 minutes. I wasn't really gonna do this video. I was gonna wait because I was gonna do a series actually for the next 30 days, kind of reviewing every single team's off season and predicting what they're gonna do in the regular season. Shout out MDJ, something like that. He retired from NBA YouTube, but he did this a couple years back, and I watched every one of them, and I really liked it. So I thought I would do it for myself. I haven't really asked him, but I don't really know where to contact him. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I was gonna make a video maybe a lot sooner about this specific situation. Or not situation, this specific topic, but I wasn't actually at home for the weekend that free agency was going on. But yeah, I was just kind of minding my business and just going about my day when I see this tweet on my timeline from Legend of Winning. Shout out to him, he's a really good YouTuber, but he tweeted it. So I don't know why so many people believe that the Hawks are big winners of this offseason. They paid $20 million a year for Gallinari, who is at best going to make them a 500 ball club. In the East, that can make the playoffs, but is it okay? He needs to fix his grammar. This is terrible. In the East, that can make the playoffs, but is it really worth it? Well, there's a couple reasons that I wanted to. Well, one, I'm a Hawks fan, and Georgia fan. So this kind of hit me a little bit different than other people, but I think everyone had the same idea, and that he was crazy. I read all these replies. So where do I even begin? So okay. They paid $20 million for a year for Gallinari. I'm not gonna lie, that was that was actually one of the non-questionable things the Hawks did. That's the weird thing about this tweet that I've seen, is that he was really questioning the things you really shouldn't question about the Hawks. I think $20 million for Gallinari, maybe it's a little bit of an overpay. Maybe he should have gotten 16 or 17 million. But I think the real question here, and I'll address this in my next Hawks video, is about the fit and where John Collins goes with this. But he didn't even address that. They paid $20 million a year for Gallinari, who is at best going to make him a 500 ball club. I don't know. I don't really see a problem with this. In the East, that could really make the playoffs, but is it really worth it? Now, this is the big question. He's asking if making the playoffs for the Atlanta Hawks is worth it. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why I think it's worth it. You guys can do your. I'm gonna show a few other tweets too. Don't worry. He actually quote tweeted my reply to this, and I'll get to my reply. But what people don't really understand is the fact that, especially Legend of Winning, I'm pretty sure he's a Lakers fan. I don't know, he kind of bandwagons a bunch, but he's a Lakers fan. Lakers fans are predominantly known for getting the best free agents. I don't think there's another team that gets more big free agents than the Lakers. So he wouldn't understand this. But small market teams like Atlanta and Charlotte and Cleveland and teams of that nature don't necessarily get big free agents. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get Kawhi or Paul George next year. I mean, it is possible if the Clippers lose in the second round again, or maybe lose in 5 to the Lakers or something. I feel like if they keep it 6 or 7 against the Lakers, they might run it back. But hold on, something was in my eye. But we could get someone this next free agency is supposed to be the best free agency in the last 4 years. So I think if we can get a decently good player in this next free agency, then we're set. We could actually contend. Now, you might be asking, how would you get this free agent? Maybe proving by making the playoffs. I know we'd just be an A seed, but if a team, or if a player like Kawhi or something, or even who's a lesser, like Drew Holiday. Let's say Drew Holiday. He should be a free agent next year, I'm pretty sure. Let's say I think he has a player option. Let's say Drew Holiday is looking for a team that fits him well and sees the Atlanta Hawks. Let's say Drew Holiday sees the Atlanta Hawks as an 11th or 12th seed. Is he going to join that team even if we give him a bunch of money? Probably not. But if he sees the Atlanta Hawks go from a 14th seed to an 8th seed in 1 year, why wouldn't he join with us? I mean, he's literally the perfect fit next to Trae Young, the worst defender in the league. And I think Drew Holiday is actually the best perimeter defender in the league. So this would be the perfect duo. I mean, what else is there to say? Now you might be asking, well, that's the thing that Legend of Winning is saying. You have no cap space. Actually, he didn't say that in this tweet, but I'll get to that. But you know how easy it is to sign and trade in this league? So many sign and trades happen, so many regular trades happen. If the Kings match the Bogdan's offer, we still have $18 million. That's what people don't understand. If we get Bogdan, then he's just a trade asset. Like, what's the point? Last year, you know what we did last year? The Atlanta Hawks, they spent the very minimum amount of money that they could in order to lose games. They actually had to make trades just so that they had to pay enough money to actually be in the league. And you know what that got us? That got us nothing. I'm sorry. That got us absolutely nothing. Like, well, why? What's the point of having cap space? I don't understand it. You can easily make signing trades. I think Danilo Gallinari's contract is still tradable. Anyways, let's look at some of these replies. This guy said, and showing Trae Young the front office wanting to win. Rare L from Low, not gonna lie. Now, Trae Young, yeah, this is what Trae Young did last year. He literally said, I want to make the playoffs. Now, I understand that there is a player in the NBA right now named Devin Booker, who is a young star but doesn't really care about making the playoffs. I understand that. But 99% of other regular stars, I'm saying that like as if there's 99 other regular stars, but you know what I mean, or young regular stars. But 99% of other people would love to make the playoffs if they're averaging 25 points per game in their second or third season. That's just normal human beings. Devin Booker might be a different breed, but any other team would have left Phoenix by now. The Hawks cannot afford to lose Trae Young. This guy is their future. This guy is their chance. So why wouldn't we just try and make the playoffs for him? That's what he wants. I mean, I guess he's not LeBron James. He shouldn't be running our team. But we traded Luka Doncic for this guy. We traded Luka for this guy. We need to take care of him. But anyways, Legend of Winning responded, wanting to win at the expense of cap flexibility. We talked about that. There's no need of having extra cap. You could easily trade any of these, especially to the Pistons, who aren't looking to win. I mean, we could just maybe trade our next year's first or the year after that's first, and just get back, I don't know, a different player that costs less. And player progression. Oh, and this is another thing I didn't address. Player progression. I don't know how else to say this, but like, Atlanta right now isn't in a place where Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, and DeAndre Hunter are fighting for minutes. Do you know how bad Cam Reddish played in the first half of the season and still got the exact same minutes as the second half, where he played amazing? It doesn't matter how good you are. You're going to get minutes on a bad team. So what they won't actually be trying. They won't be fighting for their minutes like any other contending team. I know the Hawks aren't contending yet, but any other contending team. Kevin, like, what's going to motivate them? If no one is even near getting their spot, what's going to motivate them to get better? This is the thing that they go better. Because I think Herter and Bogdan are both in the same ballpark where one could start over the other easily. At least I think Bogdan's still better, but it's not even by that much. Trust me, I've looked at the stats. I mean, clutch moments, you could say Bogdan has had more. I don't know. Reddish and Hunter will be fighting Gallinari for minutes. I think we'll have to play Gallinari at the 3 from the very beginning. I don't think we're going to trade John Collins anytime soon, but the John Collins situation, I'll have another video for that. Of the young players they drafted over the past 3 years, isn't it worth proving to Trae Young in the year 3 Atlanta can make the playoffs? I mean, okay, here's what I'll say about this. I think there's a lot of teams right now that are willing to do it, are willing to put all the cap aside and all that to make the playoffs. Let's say like the Charlotte Hornets, Wizards, I think Bulls are trying to make the playoffs too. All these teams are going to try and make the playoffs. And if Trae sees them trying to make the playoffs and we're not, we want to be bad. We want Cam Reddish to play 35 minutes with no one threatening his spot. Or Hunter. Or Huerter. Or Herter. Why do I say Huerter? I know it's Herter. I think I heard someone say that once because they don't watch the Hawks that much. Whatever. I don't want that. I want them fighting for their spot. So anyways, I quote tweet saying, Trae needs to make the playoffs this year. This ain't no my league where you tank for 4 to 5 years and you try to contend for the championship. Oh, that's something I also need to say. You have to... Trae needs playoff experience. You can't wait. Like, okay, so let me put it into this perspective. Let's say we wait 4 to 5 years. We get a pretty good team. Cam Reddish gets better. Hunter gets better. Herter gets better. And let's say somehow, in some way, even though we've never made the playoffs, Kawhi Leonard wants to join our team. Now we have Kawhi Leonard, and we're a contending team. and then no one on our team has ever made the playoffs, not even the 8th seed. The playoffs, besides the bubble is an exception. Playoffs are a whole different atmosphere, especially if you're the underdogs, you're the favorites. It's a whole different thing. So you need playoff. I don't. Okay, and I'll address this a little bit. Actually, I'll make a reading. You need playoff experience, and making the playoffs also to prove to free agents next year about our potential. That's what I was talking about. We could get someone like Drew Holiday if we prove we can make the playoffs and make significant, get better in a significant way. So we could sign and trade Gallo. I think this is a possibility, but I'll talk about this in my next video. Then Legend of Winning quote tweets me saying, delusional. I'm delusional, I guess, the Hawks fan. Playoff experience only matters when you can compete. Now, I don't really understand what this means, really. Can the Hawks not compete? I mean, I understand, like, we'll probably be going against the Bucks because the Bucks will be number 1 seed. There's a 99% chance we'll get either a play-in win or we'll get the 8th seed. I think we're gonna get the 8th seed. But every team still has a chance to win. Like, does he not understand? Dude, I'm trying to say this as respectfully as possible. Trae Young in his first playoffs, it will not be that good. I'm just going to tell you that right now. He probably won't. I mean, it depends on what not good. But I think he can still put up at least 25 and 8. You know, pretty good play. But he's not going to be he's not going to have a Finals MVP run in his first year. Like, that's just not gonna happen. It's not what's not gonna happen is everyone's gonna suck in the playoffs in the when we make it as the 8th seed this year, and he's just gonna have this amazing run of 30-9. And he's gonna be like, well, oh, my teammates, I don't have a good enough team yet, that's why. No, he's gonna suck. That's just my predictions. It's your first time making the playoffs. A lot of these other teams have made it so many more times. They know what to do. Drew Holiday, let's say we go against the Bucks, right? Drew Holiday is gonna be guarding Trae Young. Drew Holiday clamped Damian Lillard. I'm pretty sure this was like 3 years ago in 2017 or 18. I'm not sure. Damian Lillard couldn't do anything. I'm pretty sure he averaged like 20 points that series on like 37% shooting. It was absolutely terrible. Like, Trae is gonna suck, and he's gonna learn from this. He's gonna learn how to read defenses more in the playoffs specifically, because it's a whole different game. But you got to think about it. In the regular season, they're not really game planning against you. They're just playing you. In the playoffs, they are looking at every single thing that your team does, your team's play style, your team's movements, and they are trying to beat you. And let me also say another thing, though. If we do want to make the playoffs this year, which we obviously already do, we already signed the free agents, we do need to fire Lloyd Pierce. Lloyd Pierce, he's a very inexperienced coach. I mean, he has good potential, but if we want to even win a game in the playoffs, we need to fire him. He's terrible. He has good potential. He's terrible, though. I mean, I just gave my side of the argument. I don't know how to end this video. Do you guys think I was right? You guys think I was wrong? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like the video. I mean, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't really care, though, honestly. But yeah, I'll see you guys next video.